Lakshmi ma'am, um, Sukhmeet sir or ma'am. Hi ma'am. Namaste. Good evening. Right, teachers, already we have completed with a few topics in our phase one webinar. So this is your phase two webinar. Good evening, Shivani ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. So we will be starting with a recap of whatever we have covered in the previous phase quickly, and then we will go ahead with the phase two topics. Right, teachers? And if you get any doubts, put the doubts in the chat box. I'll try to cater at the end of the webinar. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. Hope my screen is visible to every one of you. Just give me a quick S in the chat if it is visible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, Vandita ma'am. So this is the content for today's webinar, teachers. So we will be seeing about a quick recap, and then we will be creating the projects using the concept of phase two. So where we will be seeing three different projects with concepts. So let us move ahead. So first of all, the introduction to web development. So what is web development? The process of creating websites and web pages is called web development. And for creating a website, we need these three components. HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language, and then Cascading Style Sheet, which is CSS, and JavaScript, which stands for JS. So what is this HTML? It is like a structure of a web page. We are creating a outline or the blueprint of a web page using the HTML. After creating the blueprint, we will add different styling, different design components for that web page like color, font styling. Those are called as CSS of our website. That can be done using the CSS. Then we have the, just a second, my system got, sorry. And then finally, we have the concept of JavaScript. So JavaScript basically it adds the functionality to our web page. In any website, for example, let us take Amazon. If you search for any component and if you click on OK, in that OK button works as per the JavaScript code. That is the functionality, adding the functionality to our web page. Okay, so this is the basic structure. Just a second, teachers. I'll just stop share and I'll share it again. Okay. Okay. So then we have learned about the basic tags of HTML, where we can see the heading tags, paragraph tags. Heading tags ranges from H1 to H6 based on the size, and then paragraph tag, which holds the body content of our HTML component, and then bold tag, which makes the text look in bold, and then underline, and then we have the italics, I tag, and then line break, which is BR tag, which will provide the line break, and then horizontal line creates the horizontal line. So basically, this heading, paragraph, bold, underline, italic, these are called as container tags, which has a opening and closing tags. This line break and the horizontal line, these are called as empty tags, which means we don't have a closing tag. Like that, we have learned about a lot of tags in the phase one. Now let us understand the structure of our HTML page. So HTML page structure. This first line defines the type of the document that it is an HTML document. Then the opening HTML and closing HTML element, that is the main element or the root element. Inside HTML, we will be having two important components, which is head and body. Head is nothing but it contains the header information. We can add title, we can add style inside the head. So these are the components inside the head tag. And then inside the body, we can create the information or the content for our web page. This is the basic HTML page structure. So then we have seen about the tags, then CSS. I said inside the head, see here, inside the head tag, we are adding this style element. Styling is nothing but CSS element. And we can add CSS to our web page in three ways. One is internal CSS, inline CSS, and external CSS. External means when we create the code in the notepad, we can create a separate CSS file and we add the link inside the HTML notepad. And then internal CSS, this is internal CSS. Opening and closing style tag, we will be adding our styling by referring the name of the element or name of the class or name of the ID. And then inline CSS, where we will be giving the styling part inside the body tag or any element itself, we will be giving the styling part. So these are the things that we have covered in the previous phase. Now we are going to start with the new topic where we will be following this internal CSS only. So whatever topic that we are going to see and we are going to create our project, there we will be using the process of internal CSS, where inside the head tag, we are going to add the style component. So let us move ahead, teacher. These are the basics. Now, in our first project, which we create from grade 7, we will be seeing these two topics, which is flexbox and hyperlinks. Flexbox and hyperlinks. Let us move ahead, teachers. So what is a flexbox basically? It is a CSS layout that allows you to create flexible and responsive layouts by arranging the objects inside the box. You can line up the objects in a row or in a column, spacing, alignment, everything can be controlled inside this flexbox. For example, here you can see there is a box, which is a main container. That is your flex box. We call it like, imagine as a parent child. So parent is a flex box. Child is a flex items. So parent is a flex box. Child is a flex items. So this item can be of any element, like an image, like heading tag, like whatever, division tags. So anything. The child can be of anything which is arranged inside a main content. So this is your example. Now, properties of a flexbox. The first property is display colon fields. So here is your like example. When we give display colon none. So this is a CSS property. How we are providing the CSS property. This is the name of the property colon value of the property. Name of the property colon value of the property. So if we give none, there is no change in the arrangement or alignment of this particular objects or child items or flex items. But when you give display colon flux features, it will arrange it in a flexible manner. See, this makes the parent container flexible. This is our first property. Second property, justify content. Justify content, this is the name of the property. Again, this is the value of the property. So it can arrange the item in the starting of your flex box, or if it is center, it will arrange it in the center or at the end. Or if you give space around, it will equally give the space around all the flex items. You have space even property, you have space between property. Like that, we have n number of property values which you can assign. And one more thing, it allows the flex items to align along the main axis, horizontal arrangement. horizontal arrangement. That is justify content. The next property is align items properly. This will arrange the items in the vertical way, top, center, bottom. So again, we are going to give flex start, center, flex end on. This is in the cross axis. Justify content horizontally, align items vertically. Then let's wrap. If we have multiple components, if we are going to give no wrap, it will move outside of that flex box, that is the parent container. If you give wrap, it will be placed evenly inside that parent container. This is flex wrap, wrapping the content inside the parent container itself. That is flex wrap. Then align content. Align content in the sense we have already seen align item property, and here this is align content. Align item, remember, it will arrange the item if there is only a single row of items. Whereas you need to give the align content property if we have multiple rows of items. Imagine here we have box 4, box 5, box 6, box 7, box 8, box 9. In that case, you can give the property as align content. So these are the parent container properties, like means main container properties. Then we have child properties. Inside that, this box 1, box 2, box 3, for these items, child items, what are the properties that we can have? First is the order property. Order means we can allow the changes in the order of items. See here, for box 1, we are giving order 2, box 2, it is order 3. So in that way, it is arranged. So this order property only can be applied to the items, flex items. Then we have flex grow. Grow means it will increase the size. If there is a space available, it will fill that space by growing. Then we have flex shrink, which will shrink if there is no enough space available. Then flex basis. It defines the size of an item before the space is distributed. So these properties we can apply only for the items, that is child items inside your parent container. It can be applied in the form of percentages. So these are the some of the properties which we have in our syllabus. Okay, so first we are going to try with these things, teachers. So let us go to the editor. I hope it is visible to you all. So I hope it's clear till here, teachers. The concept that we have seen about the flex box, which is a CSS layout, which helps us to create a flex box and put some items as a child and make it flexible, spacing, alignment, everything. That's all. And we have seen some of the parent container properties and some of the child container properties. So we are going to try some of them. So first we are going to create the basic structure. Let me increase the code size. So what is our structure? First, the main root element. Inside the root element, we have the head component. And inside the head component, we have the style component. Inside styling, this is internal CSS where we can give the style for our contents. Then let's go below the head. Here we are going to create the body component. And inside this, we are going to create this content, like content for our flex box. So let's have the title first. In the heading tag, I'm going to give it as flex box. Then let's create using div tag. Division tag will create different sections on your web page. So I'm going to use the name of the class, that is name of my parent container. I'm going to give it as main container only. And inside this main container, I'm going to create different items, child items. So div class equals to box 1. And I'm going to give the title as box 1. And I'm going to close the div. Again, I'm going to do the same. So let me copy and paste it. So let's create box 2 and box 3. Let's name it as box 2 and box 3. So let me run it. Okay. So let me close the division also. I haven't closed that top wala parent container division, teachers. So done. So now let's create some of the CSS properties so that you can also remember that. I'm going to create one big box, like big border for this main container. So let me refer that class name. How to refer the class name in the internal CSS? By a dot. Dot, name of the class, and then curly brackets. Dot, name of the class, and then curly brackets. Here I'm just going to give a border. So border properties, we have three things like border style. We can give border width, border color. See here you can see every property over there. So I'm going to give three properties over here, border colon. First, I'm going to give the style. A border can be of solid border, dashed border, or it can be of double border. So you can give anything. So I'm going to give solid, which will give a solid box actually. Then thickness of the border. It could be given in the form of pixels. So I'm going to give it as 5 px. Px is nothing but pixels. And you can give the color for your border. So any color, let me give it as red and semicolon. This is how you have to give the property for your CSS, like name of the property, value of the property. So when I run it, so you can see the red border and this is your solid border. So if I give here itself like dashed, then if I run it, this is your dashed border. Okay, I'll change it to solid itself. And let's also create the width and height for our parent container. I'm going to give some 300 px and height I'm going to give again as 300 pixels. So you can see the width and height for our parent container. Like this, we are going to create for our child items also. So let me give dot box 1, again curly brackets. Let me give the border, same solid border. Let me give 3px and any color, let's give blue or pink. Any color you can give teachers. So let me run it. We got it. So I'm just going to copy and paste the same for my second box and my third box. Box 2 and then box 3. So let's run it. Okay. So let's give some padding element here. Padding is nothing but it will create the space around the element. So I'm going to give padding as some 5 pixels. And here also. These are all the CSS properties. Five pixels. So let's run it. And you can also set the width and height for your child items also. Let's check quickly. Width, I'm going to set it as 10 pixels. Give it as some 50 px and height also. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Let's see size. Let's do it. Okay, we got our boxes now. So I have just created a simple container, parent container, and inside that I have created a child and I have added some of the CSS properties. Now I'm going to add the flex box properties. Okay. First, for the parent container, we are going to add, and then for the child containers, we will also add few properties, whatever we have seen now. Is it clear till here, teachers? Can I get a quick yes till here? Is it clear for everybody till here? Hi, Chetna ma'am. Good evening. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. So now let us go to the main container. So you can also again refer the class and create, or here also you can add. I'm just going to refer this. Again, I'm going to call the same main container. And inside that, I am going to create the properties. What is our first property? Display colon flex. Display colon flex. So that it will make the items flexible. That is our first property. Then we have seen about the justify content. Justify content colon. So you can arrange it at flex start, flex end, center, space around. These many properties are there. So let's quickly check. It's already in the start. So let me try with flux end. It is at the end, moving towards the end. Send. Let's try with center. You can see it is coming to the center. And then let's try with space around. Space around. Let's run it. See, this is justify content. And then flex the wrap also. So if I give wrap, here now we have space, so there is no difference. If you have many multiple boxes, which we have seen in the example, it will wrap it up inside that particular flex box. It will not allow it to move outside. Okay. Then this justify content is for the horizontal arrangement. We have seen one more component, which is align items, which is for the vertical component. So let me go with align items, colon, again, flex start, flex end, center. These are the properties, right? So let us try with flex end, semicolon. It's done it. See, it is coming towards the end. And if I give it as center, so vertically, it is arranging the boxes. So this is horizontal and vertical. So now these are the properties that we have seen for the main container, parent container. Now we need to give the properties for the child container. So let's see that. For child, you are going to, you can give individually for the things. First, we are going to see the property, order property, order. So let's arrange order colon. Box one, I'm going to arrange it to the second position. And box two, let's put it as third. So by default, box three should come to the first position. Let's see. See, box three, box one, box two. This is the order property that we have seen first for the child containers. And then we have seen flex grow and flex shrink. Let's try that. Flex grow. Let's say one is default. So let's try with two. So what is the flex grow property? If there is enough space, it will occupy the space. That is grow property. So I have given for box one, it is occupying the space, right? So since I have given flex grow for box one, let's shrink the box two. Let's try whether it is working or we'll try it with that. Let's shrink colon two. Let's run it. As there is no space, it is not getting shrink. So let me try here itself. RINK. It will reduce the space. Let's just give one. Let's run it. So now it is getting shrink. And then the last property that we have seen is flex basis. So which will like equal distribute the space equally. So let me remove this. This one also. Let's try the flex basis property. Flex basis, which will be mentioned in the form of percentage. Let me try with 40. Semicolon. Okay. So these are the flexbox related properties that we have seen in our concepts. Hope it's clear, teachers, for every one of you. Can I get a quick yes in the chat? Okay, Sita ma'am, and we are discussing about the web development, ma'am, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is creating structure of a web page, and then CSS styling of web page, and then JavaScript is for the functionality. And we are seeing the concept of flexbox now from HTML. Like you have seen the flex holdings like now. So that like that we are creating a flexbox and we are discussing about its properties. So that is what we are doing here, right? Okay, all right, teacher. So this is about the flexbox. Ma'am, please select coding and copy paste here. Please, ma'am. Oh, okay, you want, okay, okay. I'll copy the entire code and paste it over here. Sure, ma'am. In the chat. Yes, ma'am. Whatever I did, I pasted the code in the chat. If you are using systems, you can try to paste and check it. All right, teachers. Now, you can practice it later, but first of all, my like thing is, please listen to the concepts. So now this is about your flexbox part. Clear, teachers? I hope all of you till here it is clear. Okay, okay, okay. Welcome, ma'am. Okay, great, great, great. Thank you, teachers. Now, let us move ahead with the next topic. Let's go back to the slides. So it's a very simple concept. Next concept is about the hyperlinks. As you all know, basically hyperlinks create the connection between one website. So if you create a hyperlink, it will create the links allows users to navigate from one web page to another web page by clicking a text or an image. You can create an hyperlink which will take us to another web page, another image, wherever it is a hyperlink. So basically, hyperlink can be created using the A tag, anchor tag, basically. Okay, so here itself, let's try to create the hyperlink. So A is the anchor tag. Href is the keyword for hyperreference equals to any link you can paste it over here, any website link. So I have one Wikipedia page link, which I am copying it and I am pasting it over here. So when I'm closing it, here you can give any, let me give it as a text and let's close the, let's run it. So here you can see title. So this is hyperlink actually. And here there is one more property is there, target attribute. Target attribute. Okay. So target means if you want to open that particular web page by replacing the existing output, or if you want to open it in the new web page, new tab or a new window. So we can use all these options. If I give underscore blank, then it will open the web page in a new tab. So let me run it once again. Let's click on Tiger. See, now it is opening in a new web page, new tab, sorry, new tab. Okay, this is underscore blank. Next, if I give underscore self, self means it will open in the same, replace it, but in our thing, it will not be allowed actually. Let me, okay, it got hanged. Sorry, teachers. It's a bit, network is slow from my end. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, yeah, it is replacing, it is opening, right? So let's run it once again. I'm copying this code also with the anchor tag. If you want, you can use it. Okay, let me minimize it. I'll just reload this page because it got hanged. Okay, now let me paste it. Let's run it. Okay, underscore self, underscore blank, and parent is there, which will open in a new window actually. So that is parent. So let me run it. Let's click on it. Okay. So these are the things about the anchor tag, hyperlinks, which will create us a link or which will take us to a different part. It replaced the existing code window actually. Okay. So that is about the Flexbox and hyperlink concepts features. Any questions? Any till here? Is it clear for everybody? Teachers, kindly confirm once. Then we will move ahead with the next topic. So code I have already copy pasted. So you can use that. So please quickly respond in the chat, teachers. That will be helpful. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rajni ma'am. All right, teachers. Now we have a quick question. Teachers, kindly answer. I want every one of you to answer in the chat. Please answer it. The dash property allows flex item to wrap onto more than one line. More than one line. The property allows flex items to wrap onto more than one line. Which is the correct answer, teachers? This is the correct answer. Align items, child, flex the wrap. Yes, that is a perfect answer, teachers. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, teachers. That is correct. That is flex wrap. The dash tag is used to create hyperlinks. What is the correct answer? Yes, I can see the answer. That's wonderfully right. Okay, answer B. B. Anchor tag. B. Anchor tag. Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. That is a perfect answer. Great, teachers. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the next concept, teachers, that we are going to move ahead is creating the tables and styling the tables. So now we are going to learn about how to create tables in our HTML part. Okay, kindly listen to it. Post your doubts in the chat if you get. So as you all know, a table generally it is a grid of rows and columns. Each row represents one item on our list and column represents the piece of information about them. So name is like a field, the name like the record is like a rows actually, right? So now let us see how to create a table inside a web page. The very first tag is the table tag, which helps us to create the table. That is the main tag. And then we have captions. Caption means it is used to add the caption, like a heading. How we are creating a heading for our content of a web page, like this caption adds the heading for our table. And after the caption, we will be adding the table. And here see the caption to the table to be added right after the table tag and it will be centered by default. And then we have T head. How inside HTML we have header, head and body. Like that inside the table also we have T head and T body. T head and T body. Inside the T head we will be creating all the headings. Inside the T body we will be adding all the data or content. Create just used to group the header content in the table. Then we have TR which is used to create the table rows. TR tag. And then TH tags. TH is used to create the table header, which is bold and centered by default. So table, caption, T head. Inside T head, we have the row, and inside the row, we will be creating the table headings. Table headings. So this is the output. This we will create. Then T body. I said now T head and T body. So inside the T body, again we have a TR tag that is table row. TD is table data. So the data that we will be adding will comes inside the T body. So let's go ahead and create it. Let's come back. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Let me increase the size of the code. Let's quickly create it inside HTML. Let's add the head. Let's add the style. And now below the head, we have to create the body. And inside the body, we are going to create the table. So table. Inside the table, we are going to first add the caption. Let's create the table of result as a caption. And below the caption, we are going to create the T head. And inside the T head, we are going to create the rows. Below that, I'll create the T body also, table body. And inside the T head, what we have to do? TR. What are our rows? Let's add inside T row, we have the TH table heading tag, right? TH. Let's create subjects and marks. Subjects. That is our first heading. Then TH. Let's create the marks. Okay. So let's run it. See, result is our caption centered by default, subjects and marks. This is our table head. Now, inside the T body, let's go to T body teachers. Inside this, again, what we need to create teachers, table row. And inside this, we need to create table data. Table data. So first, we are going to create the data for, let's create the subject first, maths. And then for maths, we need to create the mark. Let's have 100. Okay, just a second. Again, we need to create a table row. Inside that table data, where I'm going to create signs. Again, we have the table data marks. Let me create 90. Let's run it. Got it? So I'll just quickly show you. First, we are going to create table open tag and closing tag. And inside the table, we are going to add the caption. And inside that, we have table header, T head and T body. Inside that table head, we are going to create table row. And TH is nothing but table heading. This is inside your T head. And then inside the body teachers, how many ever rows you want to create? This is my first row. My first row should have a subject name and its marks. This should come inside the table data. Likewise, I'm creating two data for so maths and science. I'll copy this code also and putting it in the chat. If anyone wants to use it, you can use it up. Yes, ma'am, I'll increase the size of the code. Sure. Is it not visible? I hope it's visible now. I'll just reduce the size. Okay, I hope it's visible now for everybody. I'll repeat table caption, T head and T body. Inside T head, inside the table row, we're going to add the table headings. And inside the T body, again, we are going to add the table row and table data. I'm just scrolling down. I have put the code in the chat also, teachers. You can copy and paste. Clear how to create a table, everyone? Clear, teachers? Or I hope all of you are clear till here because we're going to add the properties for the CSS properties for the table. So can I get a quick S in the chat? Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, teachers. That's very well and good. Okay, so as usual, we know a lot of properties that we can create for our tables. So as usual, whatever table property so far we have created, that's what we are going to create it over here. You can refer the element name, which is table. So you can refer the element name and you can add it. So I'm first thing for table, we need to create a border. For border, we can add solid border, dash border, or double border. So let's add a solid border. And then let's add the pixel of 5. And then let's add the color like yellow or any color you can add. So this is border. So if you add and run it, you can see the border has been created. If you want to create the border for individual elements, that also you can create. So if you want to create it for data, you can refer the T data border colon. Let me copy and paste the same thing. So you can create the border like this. So for data, again, you can create like font style, font size, everything. So let me put it as font size. So then let's reduce the size, or we can also increase the size. Let's see. So it is getting reduced. And if you want to change the color, you can change the color. Let's change it to blue. Let's run it. It is changed to blue. You can see it here. So like that, you can give different properties for your table. We also have a property called box shadow property. If you want to create a shadow for your box hyphen shadow. So box shadow, we have different values actually. X offset, Y offset, shadow, blur, and color. X offset in the sense how you are increasing the shadow in the horizontal manner. Y offset means how the shadow is extended in the vertical manner. Blur value means how it is blurry or thickness or blur thing you can define using pixels. And then the last one, shadow color, that you can define anything. So let's give 0, 0, the first two values, X offset and Y offset. And then if you give it as, let's give it as 3dx, and shadow color, let's give it as black. Let's run it. See, you can see there is a shadow created. So this is box shadow, like X offset, Y offset. I have given it as 0. If you give any value, let's try that also. So it is hiding, it is hidden. Mostly for shadows, try to give zeros only. So these are the four values for your box shadow. Let's give it as, this is a blur value actually. So these are your some of the properties, some of the CSS properties that you can add for your tables. So you can try with different properties. Hope till this it's clear, teacher, related to your creating the table and styling your tables. So can I get a quick yes in the chat, teachers? Thank you, Harsha ma'am. Thank you so much. We have more to come. Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you, teachers. So let us quickly move ahead. So we have created the table. So even you can add margin, padding, and everything also. That also you can add margin, padding in the sense it will create the space around the things. See, padding, margin, width, height. Okay, you can create the width and height of the tables also. These properties also you can create. Okay. All right. So please answer the quiz questions, teachers. Let's move ahead with the next topic. What property is used to add a border to a table in CSS? So which property is used to add a border to the table? What is the correct answer? Please mark it in the chat. Okay, that is B, that is border. That is perfectly correct. And the next question, thank you for the answers, teachers. The HTML tag used to contain the main of your table, such as data rows with TD element is dash tag. Within which element we are giving this TD element, main element. What is the correct answer, teachers? Let us see the correct answers. How many answers that we are getting? Okay, there are different answers I'm receiving. B, C, A. It's T body, the main element, main of your table. Okay. Maybe inside TR only we are giving. Maybe that is also your confusion. That's not wrong actually. So your T body is the answer. All right. Great. Perfect, teachers. Let us move ahead with our next topic, which is adding of creating of HTML forms. Creating of HTML forms. Okay, we have two more quizzes. Let's move ahead. Okay. So, what are the next topic that we are going to see is HTML forms. Listen to it, teachers. We have like more concepts in this HTML forms. Listen to it. If you have any doubts, please add it in the chat. Okay. So first of all, this particular HTML forms is the project from grade 8. So how to create, wherever we go, we are filling the forms. Everywhere when we go, we will be filling the different forms. So that how to create that in our HTML. Okay. So generally the HTML forms gather user information on websites. It helps us to gather the user information on websites. So that, for example, if you are buying a bag, and then fill address details. And even for schools, you are giving forms to the parents where they are filling all the details of their students. So in HTML, the structure of a form is how you organize and align the various elements that make up the form. We have different elements of the form, different elements. Let us see that. So the form element is the container form, all the form elements. How we are creating our HTML. For table, we have table elements. For flexbox, we have a different properties like that. For form element, our opening and closing tag should be form open and form close. Here is how it will define the form creation. Let us see different elements of our form. It is used to create fields for gathering information from the users. Label element is used to label these input fields. So we will be getting the name of the student, email ID of the student, password, phone number, and then we will be getting their date of birth. So we have different types of input fields, teachers. First, text input. Name comes under text input. And then email, then password. Then we have date. And then we have radio buttons to choose the gender. Then check boxes. If the student have multiple interests like music, movies, sports, like that, then we can use the check boxes. So let's learn about the all these types of inputs one by one, and we will create the form on our HTML. First is the textual information for getting the name, age, roll number, everything. So the type is text attribute. It's a textual information. For everything, we have a format or the syntax that I'll be showing you and you can follow it. Okay. It's very simple and very easy. We have a common format for everything. See here, first of all, we will be adding a label is nothing but, you know what generally label means, creating the name. So it's like an identifier. So label for first name, and what is the text that you are going to give first, and then you are closing the label tag. Then you are defining the different input types. So for label, it is a text. Input type is text. And for that input, we are going to give an ID and the actual name for that particular text input. And required. What is the meaning of required is it is validating that field. Remember, if you are giving required, which means if you are creating the next field without filling that name, you cannot move to the next. Form validation. This is called as validating a form. And for example, if you are going to create an age, if you set a minimum and maximum age, then that will be validating your form. Like that, for every field, you can set required or without required also you can set that. That's not an issue. Okay. So first, this is for text. Like this, one by one, I'll be showing you directly on the editor. Let's see that. Okay. Okay, let's move ahead. I'm just going to remove this. So let's run it. So now we are going to start with our form creation, HTML. Inside the HTML, we are going to have head and then body. So inside the body, what is our form element features? I'm increase the code size also. I think it's mass. Okay. So let's give the form element. Inside the form only, we are going to create all the form details. So the first is the text. So label for equals to within double quotes name. You can create first name, last name, middle name, whatever you would like to. Close it. Now the text for it is name and then close the, this is the first. After defining the label, you are going to give the input type. So input type equals to text. This is the text input. Then we have the ID. ID equals to, what is the ID? Name only. Then after creating the ID, you're going to give the name for it. Name is equals to name. Again, I'm giving name only. Now close it. Let's run it. Can you see name with the text box is created. This is our first. Next, we are going to see email ID. We are going to create the email ID. For that, I need some gap. So I'm going to give two break tag. BR tag is a break. Now we are going for the next, which is email ID. So label, same label for equals to email, close it, give it as email, email ID also you can give, then label. Done. Now what is the input type? Input type equals to, this is in email type, email input. So give it as email. Then ID equals to email, name, let me increase this. So name equals to, again, email. Let's close it. Let's run it. Now you can see the email ID. Let's create break. Don't worry, at the end, I'll just post this code in the chat. You can copy and paste it. Next, we are going to create one more field for the date of birth, which is the date input. So for that, again, label for equals to DOB I'm going to give and close it. Again, DOB is the label, close the label tab. Now again, input type equals to date. That is the format. Then ID equals to DOB within the double quotes. And then name equals to, again, DOB. Again, let's give BR. And then BR. Let's run it. So you can see when you select the calendar will be enabled over here for selecting the date of birth. This is our next field. Now we are going to, let's add that required also. Okay. So here required, which will validate without entering the value, it will show you. So for example, if I'm entering like this, okay, we need the button to submit that. Let me create and then I'll show you. Okay. So this is the required field. Now let's move ahead. Now next we are going to create for a telephone number, phone number. Okay. So let me create the label for equals to mobile number. I'm just going to give it as phone and then label. Next, input type equals to TEL. That is the input type. You can see TEL, which is the telephone number. Then ID equals to mobile number and then name equals to mobile number. And here, there is one more validation. We cannot enter more than 10 numbers. So we have a property called max length. This is validation equals to within double quotes, give it as 10. So when I run it, so if I enter like more than 10 numbers, it will not allow. See, I'm typing the numbers, it is not allowing me to type maximum. After that, 10 numbers. Okay. Next, let's add the gender teachers. For that, first I'm going to add a label as gender, and then I'm going to add the input type. Input type equals to, this is radio button. So radio, then ID equals to male. So we have two genders, male and female, that we are going to add, and then name equals to name. Okay. And then we're going to add the label. Why I am adding the radio button first and then I'm adding the label is it will come in that order. We need to select that radio button and then the label will come. You can also put the label here also. That's up to you. How you are designing the form, it is up to you. So now label for equals to male, and then close the label. Let's run it. Okay, after phone number, I haven't given break. Let's give break. Let's run it. Okay, radio button and mail. That's the reason. If I give label and then radio button input type, it will come gender and then mail and then radio button will come. So see, the code will be executed in the order of top to bottom only. That is why I have given in this order. Let's add a colon also here. Okay, this is for male. Now I'm going to repeat the same for female. Let me copy and paste it. Now input type radio, and here it should be female. Then here also it should be female. Then we have it for female. And then here also female. Run it. So we got the gender now. Radio button. Okay. So here I'm going to apply a break. Again, I'm going to apply a break. So far we have created the name, which is a text input, email ID, which is the email input, and then date of birth, and then phone number, which is the telephone TEL input. Date of birth is a date input type, and then gender is the radio input type. Yeah, till here is it clear, teachers? Can I get a quick yes in the chat? Can I get a quick yes in the chat? Till here is it clear? We'll move ahead with the next. I hope it's clear, teachers, for the forms. Can I get a quick yes? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for putting a response. Thank you so much. Okay, now let us move ahead with the next. Okay, I forgot to create a password. Password is a password input type. After email, let me create that also quickly. After email, let's create it. So label for equals to password, password, and then label. Now input type. Input type equals to password. See, here it is come. Password in the sense it will not show that text. It will be in the form of encrypted, coming in the form of stars actually. Then ID equals to password, then name equals to password. Okay. Then I'm going to apply the break. Okay. So we have a password also. Now let us try. We have seen all types of input, text, password, email ID, date, phone as a telephone, and then gender as a radio button. Now we are going to create a checkbox input, like interest of that particular student. So for that, I'm going to create a label first, which is interest. And then I'm going to create a checkbox input. Input type equals to checkbox. Then ID equals to, let's give it as interest in sports. then name equals to sports. Now let's create the label for sports. Sports, let's add it as sports, and then let's close the label. Let's run it. So interest and sports. Similarly, let's create one more interest. You can add how many other interests you would like to add. Let's me add it over here. So I'm going to add as music. Let's add it for music. Here also ID, I'm going to change it as music. And then here also, I'm going to change it as music. And here also, I'm going to change it as music. Let's run it. So we got our checkbox input also. Next, we are going to create an input called as address type. Address, we have a very big space. We need a very big space. For that, we are going to use the input type as text area. Text area. So let's do that. First, I'm going to create label for equals to address, address, and close the label. Now below this, we're going to create a text area. So the like input, we are going to directly give it a text area. For others, we are specifying it as input type. Here directly, this has been mentioned as a text area. Then ID, address, other things are all same. ID and then name. Name equals to address. And like how many rows you need for address, that you can specify. So rows equals to, let us mention it as some 4. Now close it. Now here you can close the text area. So let's apply the break over. Let's run it. Okay, after music, I haven't applied the break here. Okay, now let's run it. So we got the text area field. Next, we are going to use the selection option, multiple selections. Like for that, we need to add the select part where the student is going to select the courses actually. So for that, for courses, we are going to use one more item, one more form element, which is the select element. So let me add the label first and then courses. Now we are going to go to the select. Select ID equals to courses. Then we have the option. Option value. So for select component, we have the options actually. So here we are going to use the name also. Name equals to courses. That will. Now after doing this, we are going to choose the option. So inside the select, we have multiple options. For option, we are going to give the values. So I'm going to give it as maths. Let's close the option. And one more option is science. Option value equals to science. Close it. Close the option. Let's close the select. So here what I did is created a label and then select ID is courses, name is also courses. Then for that selection, we have different options. This is the element of select. So option, and I'm adding the values over here. Okay. Now let us give a break here. Let's run it. So here you can see the option. Okay, here I need to give the text now, maths, and then science. That's why it's just showing the option actually. Okay, now let me run it. See teachers, we have the option here. Okay. So then finally, we have added all the input types. Now finally, we are going to add the button, submit button to submit the form. So button, the thing is button type equals to submit and then value equal to submit. Let's close it. Close the button. So let's run it. This should be given inside double quotes. Now let's run it. Okay, the button is not appearing. Manually equal to submit. Let me check it. What is the mistake I have done in submit? Let's quickly check it up. So these are the different input values. Let me check the buttons. Okay, password, radio buttons we have created, checkbox we have created, text area we have created, then select option, courses we have created. Yeah, button type equal to submit, value equal to submit. This is correct only. Why it is not visible? I have given correctly only. Button type equal to submit, value equal to submit, and submit, and then we have given the. Let me try to reduce it. Mhm. It's not appearing. Let me change the pattern itself. Let us try button type equals to submit, value equal to submit, and submit. What is the problem? Ah, okay. I have put it inside the select option. That is the error. Sorry. Yeah, now let's run it. So now we can see the submit over. So let me remove this break. Also, I'll put it over. All right. I have put this inside the select tab. That is the problem. So now we got the submit option. Okay. So now let's try like name without entering name. I'm just trying to enter the email ID. So password, let's enter whatever I enter. You can see it is in the form of password. Then you can select any date. Then phone number. You can try to type more than 10 numbers. It will not allow. You can select the checkbox, select the like radio button, and then give the address. Sorry, and then select the course, and then you can click on submit. When you click on submit, see, it is asking, please fill out this field. But without, if you give required option, it is validating and there is no detail here. It will ask us to fill, and then when we fill it, we can submit the form. This is how we will create the form features. So creation of form, is it clear for everyone? Any doubts? I'm copying the code over here and I'm pasting it in the chat for you all. Okay. Message is having a limit of some characters features. So try to do it. The code is there in your form section. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for like checking it. Great. Okay. Right, teachers. So this is our form, creation of form. Okay. So let's move ahead. I try to paste it, but it is not completely pasting. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mona ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. Let us move ahead. So this is how you have displayed your. Okay. So then the final concept of today's session is navigation bar, audio and video. It's a very simple and easy topic. Navigation bar generally helps us to arrange that anchor tags in a proper way. So let's see that. Let me show you the concept. Huh. So the styling for hyperlinks, audio and video. So we are doing that. First of all, what is a navigation tag? The navigation tag helps us to arrange the links using the NAV tag. It helps us to create a set of links also. We can arrange it and we can give the styling for the navigation tag actually. So then here you can see we have added the hyperlinks inside the navigation tag, but there is no output. But we are going to give some of the stylings for that navigation tag and then it will give us a good picture. So let me show you everything on the editor itself, teachers. I hope you all can see my screen. This is just a template. See here, everything, these things, like inside the H1 tag or heading tag, there is some color, background color, text alignment, and then padding has been given. And then inside the body tag, we have some of the anchor tags. So the first step, we are going to add the NAB tag to this opening tag. And this closing, I'm going to add it at the end. So I have added it now. Now what I'm going to do for this NAB tag, I am going to add some properties in the style tag. So how to refer it? Name of the element, NAB, curly brackets. Let's add a background color, teachers. Background hyphen color. Let's add it as gray, some gray color or light color. Let's add it. When I run it, so it is adding a gray color for the background. I'm going to add a property called overflow, and I'm going to mention it as hidden. Now, what is the use of this property? I'll show you when I'm going to add few styling properties for the anchor tag. So let me add NAVA. A means we are going to add some properties for this links actually. So referring the A tag, and inside the curly brackets, we are going to add some properties. How we have like some properties for this flex box, here also we have some properties. In order to neatly organize and arrange the hyperlinks. The first property, teacher, is display. So display, we have like different properties over here. If you display it as a block, when I run it, here you can see this is getting in the form of block. Block means it will arrange in the form of blocks. If I give inline property, inline means it will arrange it like this. But if we have more anchor tags, then it will be going out of this particular space actually. So that is the reason we use the component of block. And then we are going to add a float property. Float colon left. Left, right, or center, wherever you want to arrange. So floating means it will arrange it with the adjacent spaces where you can do it. When I run it, so it is on the, already it is on the left. So it is arranged. So now I'm removing this property first of all. Just a second. I'm removing this overflow and removing this also. First, let's see why that overflow I have given. So now it is given overflow, right? So what is, if we have more, if we need more space, then you can give that overflow as hidden. If you enable that property, enable that component, if we have multiple anchor tags, it will move out of the space. That is the reason we are giving overflow property together with the float property. Clear? So let us give it as hidden. And then let's give it as float towards the left. Let's run it. Okay. Then we are going to add few more effects for this navigation tab, which is NAVA. There is a property called as component called as hover. Hover means when you move this mouse, you can set different properties. So this is also a part of it. Let's give the color, text color as white, any color as per your choice. And then we need to, let's give some background color also. Background color. Let's give some pink or olive, whatever color you would like to give, you can do it. See? When I give it is changing to olive and the text color is changing to white. So these are some of the properties using the navigation. Are you all clear with the navigation part, teachers? Thank you, Mona ma'am. Thank you so much. Clear? Next, we are going to see about audio and video. So for audio, you can add the audio to your web pages and video to your web pages using the audio tag and video tag. So what is the tag? Audio and then controls. then you can close. Similarly, in order to add the video controls, you need to add few controls and then you can close the video. So this is how you can add the audio and video or using audio tab and the video tab. Now, inside this, we need to add the link of your audio file, teachers. So let us add it. Source SRC. How will you add an image? You will add image SRC like that. For audio and video, we need to add source SRC equals to, within double quotes, you can add any audio file. So I have downloaded and kept one audio file. I'm just copying this link and I'm going to paste it over here and I'm going to close it. Let's run it. See, this is your audio. Actually, since I have added a video control, this just a blank video is getting added. So it will be. So when you play it, it will play the sound. Since I'm sharing the screen, you cannot hear it, but it is. Now I haven't given any controls over here, teacher. So I'm manually playing. See here, I'm clicking here. Then it is playing. But we have a few audio controls which helps us to play automatically. So after this, what are those controls, teachers? Autoplay. If you give autoplay, once you run the code, it will automatically start. Then we have property called loop. Loop means once the audio is entered, it will play again and again. That is loop. And muted property. Muted means it will be muted automatically. These are few controls that we have. Now let me run it. See, automatically it is playing and it is muted also. And it will be keep on looping. If I remove this muted, if I run it, you can see it is removed. Similarly, if I remove this autoplay, it will not play until I click on the play button. See this? When I click, then only it is playing. This is audio. Similarly, video you have it. Same autoplay, then loop, then muted. You can use all the properties. And again, source SRC we need to. Source SRC equals to, I have a video file also. Let me take it up. Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me just quickly stop share and I'll share it. I'm just copying that video file, teachers. Let me share it once again. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Again, I'm going to add the video link. Let's close it and run it. See, you can see here, I have muted my audio so that it is like there is no sound, teachers. Listen here. Let me scroll down and I'll show you. See here, there is no sound. Let me go to the very end. Okay, let us now see here. It is occupying this screen completely. So we can set the properties, styling properties for the video. Let me set that and I'll show you so that you can see it more clearly. So let's go to the, as usual, you are going to go to the style tag. It's very simple. Refer your video within the curly brackets. Let's set the width. I'm going to set it for some pixels. And then let me set the height. Let's set it for 300 or 200, whatever you would like to set. See here, now the size is reduced. And it is muted. See here, it's muted. Since I have set the mute property. Similarly, if you change the controls, if you remove this muted, that will also play with the audio. See, it is not muted. So this is your audio, video, and navigation part. So this is your last topic of your project, of your today's session, phase 2. So teachers, still all of this are clear to you all? All of this are clear? Can I get a quick yes in the chat, teachers? Kindly confirm. Any doubts, any questions, if you have, you can just quickly add it up in the chat. Let's try to attempt a few quiz questions here. Let me put it in the slideshow. Try to attempt the quiz, teachers. Just a second, it's loading. So we have discussed these things: forward, audio, video. You can select anything, autoplay, height, width, you can set. Okay. Okay. So teachers, try to answer these questions. Dash is the control to keep the sound off for the audio tab. That is the control to keep the sound off for the audio tab. Teachers, can I get the answer in the chat? Right, it's muted. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you, teachers, for your responses. The video tag does not have the autoplay option. Is it true or false? Is it true or false? Yes, yes, yes. I'm getting the answers over here. Perfect. Very good. Wonderful. It is false. That's perfectly correct. Great. So let me stop my screen share. I'm sharing the feedback form once again, teachers. So kindly fill it up. Just a second. I hope it's pasted already. So hope you have understood the concepts that we have seen today, teachers.
Yes, Nuribati, you said something?
Yeah, yeah. I just asked like feedback form is posted.
Yeah, yeah. Feedback from sure.
Post it once again, please. Thank
Sure,
you.
sure, sure, sure. Just a second.
Thank you, Harsha ma'am. Thank you so much. So please, I want all of you to fill the forms, teachers. Kindly go through. The video will be live in YouTube also. You can go to YOLO app. That is the channel name. There you can search for this live webinar. There you can see whatever so far we have conducted. All the live webinar videos are there in the YouTube channel. You can check it over there. Ma'am has shared the feedback form. Please
Just
fill
a
it up.
just a second, just a second.
Okay, okay.
Was a mistake.
Hope all of you have understood. So for the concepts that we have seen about Flexbox, about the forms, tables, navigation bar, audio, video. There is one more thing, like you can download any audio. If you want to like add the audio links, if you get MP3 links, well and good. And if you create the audio in the like HTML code in the notepad, you can directly copy paste. And if you are going to download and you are going to use our editor, our Techie editor, there you need to convert the downloaded links and then you need to add it up. If you get direct MP3 link, that is well and good. You can directly copy and paste. Otherwise, I'm posting a like website link. You can take a note of it. So this is a website, cloudinary.com. Here, you can post the link in this website. It will give you a converted link, MP3, MP4. From there, you can convert it and you can paste it. Okay. So as it will support in our editor. So this is one more information. Please take a note of it. You can also search this cloudinary.com in the Google also, and there you can any online links you can paste it in that, convert it, add it in the audio links or video for audio or for video. Okay. So teachers, please fill the feedback forms. And please mark it as done once it is done in the chat. And you can all have a happy evening for the day.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we'll end the session. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sabita ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, teachers.